Hey YouTube, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods. Hey, today I want to talk about the Fuji TVS spinning reel seat. Wanted to talk about this. I think this is one of the neater spinning reel designs that I've seen, especially if you're looking for something that's built ergonomically correct for full day of fishing to ensure that you don't get hand fatigue and you're able to stay there and stay on the water and fish as long as you need to. So the first thing I want to point out about this is, again, the reel seat itself. This is the Fuji TVS spinning reel seat. It has a very narrow spine on the backside. It's got a nice flat belly here to receive the reel and the reel feet. You have a floating collar here, right here. Then you have a lock nut and then a backstop nut. And so some of the highlight things about this really is let's talk about the ergonomically correct portion of this. So you do have a very narrow spine here. And what this does is this is going to, lighten the overall weight of the rod material, the composite material. So it's going to, reduce the overall weight of the reel seat itself. And then by having that narrow spine and these cutouts, what this do is it allows your hand to fit naturally, or the reel seat to fit naturally into your hand, which ensures dual contact on both sides of your hand to the rod blank that will come down on the inside of this. The second thing I want to point out is the floating collar here. So you have the backstop, and then you have the locking nut, right? And so when you set your reel inside the reel seat, the floating hood will just go over the top of that reel foot, and that nut will lock down, and then you'll have your backstop nut come down on top of that. And what that's going to do is that's basically going to ensure that that it eliminates any reel foot loosening. So what's not going to happen over time as you're using the fishing rod and you're catching fish and all the action that you're doing with the rod, what's not going to happen is the lock nut is not going to loosen, and the floating hood is not going to become loose, which will allow the reel foot to slip on the inside of it. So that will not happen. So I think this is a great reel seat, and I'm really looking forward to using this on a lightweight trout build that I'm getting ready to do. This is a size 16 reel seat. And so a couple of the components that you saw a second ago that I'm going to point out here as well is you have the CFX stubby forend, right? And that's going to go over the top of my lock nut, which is actually, or my backstop, which is actually, it's a hidden thread design, so you can't see the threads as you see here. And so what happens is your rod blank will come up through the hole. This CFX carbon fiber stubby forend sits on top of that like that. And then as you adjust, it just slides up and down the rod, right? And then the second portion, or second thing I wanted to point out, is a CFX reel seat insert. Again, another carbon product, going for a carbon or kind of a tactical look, I guess, maybe, on this build. So you can see what it looks like. You have the reel seat insert here made out of carbon, and then you have the CFX stubby forend to go over the hidden thread backstop on top of that. So that's what it looks like. I think this is a great product. It's super light. I think this is going to be a go-to product when I'm trying to do some light builds, like trout rods and stuff like that. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you got any questions or comments down in the comments block. And then if you like what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe and the like button. All right, until next time.